So, what is Alice about? First of all, it's having the courage to write it. In the period that he wrote it, he was a very courageous fool. I mean, Oscar Wilde had just been put in prison for falling in love with a noble Englishman. And Lewis Carroll, who was one of his contemporaries, comes out with Alice in Wonderland. I lived Alice for 3 years. I would read it. I would read chapters. I would read text. I would, doing the hour's worth of lace on just one strip of the sleeve. I'm thinking Alice. I'm thinking what I'm doing. I'm reading the text. I'm having my roommate, Alain Charles Krogenek, and he was the one that said, why don't you do Alice? Because you're keen on that subject and you're just as crazy and free as Lewis Carroll. This was my first real trip. My real trip as an artist was doing Alice. It was like fabulous. I breathed it. I tried to relive it. Well, I did relive it. It was just beautiful. Now, all of the characters in Alice, my Alice, I was traveling a lot during those days. I went to Venezuela to get portraits for the King of Spades over here, who was my brother-in-law, I think at that time, and the Duchess of Bedford. She was telling me about her experiences with Alice in Wonderland during her time in England. And Alain de Lesselinck and Michel de Forges, they were art critics and collectors. And the whole thing was like in the family of cards in Alice. So the composition on the wall, I tried to give the idea that they were all flying up into the air. I don't know, I have never had so much fun and been at home as when I was doing the Alice in Wonderland drawings. I was working on my technique from a sketch to be used possibly as a painting later on. And I said, no, but I haven't seen any pencil paintings where the drawing was done to where it was a finished product as a painting. And so if you're creating a painting, you're trying to create technique. How do you get the white thread on lace to show up with a pencil? Well, I needed a wire to make little holes in the paper, in thick paper, so you didn't go through it, but you just dented it, so when you used a soft round pencil over it, it left the white. And I had to create all these little techniques that would suit my purposes of making the pencil drawing the most advanced pencil drawing since the cavemen started scratching rocks in the caves thousands of years ago. And saying that is why I came here to paint and to draw. Drawing was my passion. These are the original drawings for Alice in Wonderland. Now I did 2 originals. The first one and the second one. All the ones that I like the best are here. Oh yeah, if you notice in the technique, you see these little scratches and holes dug in? I was driving all of this down from somewhere, I think Montgomery, the show at the museum there, and I came down here and I was eating an apple and some cheese, and I dropped the apple and it went, and I reached down to pick it up, and I hit the side of one of those crossover bridges. The back of the car flipped around, hit the other side, and I went up in the air inside the car. And all of this exhibition, and every glass on every frame broke and scarred the drawings, which, no, it's fabulous. They have a history. Experience is just from love and tragedy. You're sitting there doing a drawing and you've got all these things out and you're cleaning them up to show here, and all of a sudden the cup of coffee goes over and goes, you say, oh, perfect, it was the cook. I think it ages well, this story. So, I mean, once you live Alice, you can't stop living it. Once you've been in love, you can never stop loving that person. No matter what that person does, because it's real.